or MOUs with the County of Sacramento, and if we're in the city of Elk Grove, we would do the same with the city of Elk Grove. The third component of the settlement of this potential lawsuit, that again, Mayor Davis voted not to sue us, so thank you very much, Mayor, was that they couldn't oppose a gaming project, whether it's in the County of Sacramento or in the city of Elk Grove. It's just so long as we sit at the table and we negotiate fairly off-site mitigation impacts. So as Mayor Davis pointed out earlier, we may be a city within your city. It may be only 36 acres out of however many square miles Elk Grove is, but we'll be a sovereign government within your city limits, just so long as we mitigate off-site impacts, which again, police services, fire protection, roadway maintenance. Now in 2013, we started this process. We could have put Wilton into trust in 2009, but we held off until 2011, and the MOU was settled. And as the county and the city said, please don't look at Wilton. Can you look elsewhere? So we did just that. We looked at something that was more conducive to traffic and commercial development. And we identified 3 sites. We have the old Wilton Rancheria out here. We have 282 acres in Gulf. And we also have 36 acres up at the Elk Grove, north of the Elk Grove Outlet Mall. Our very first attempt was 160 acres just north of the 282 acres at Arno Road. It was right near our historic Hicksville Cemetery, if any of you know where that is. Well, that was in February of 2013. We had some environmental people come out to study it. They said, you know, it flooded in 86, it flooded in 97, and there's environmental issues there, so can you look elsewhere? So we did just that, and we went and we looked at the 282 acres in Gulf, and we also were looking at the Elk Grove Mall. Well, we didn't have an option secured with Elk Grove, so that's why it was always alternative F, but it was being studied. So in 2013, that process started. And as Mayor Davis pointed out, in 2015, 2 years later, a draft environmental impact statement was drafted. And there was a 60-day comment period, and it was posted in all the newspapers in the Elk Grove and Sac Bee and Galt Herald for people to comment on the 3 alternatives on the environmental impacts of this project. Over on that table right there, I don't know if you see that, it's about a foot high, it's about 3,000 pages. That's the draft EIS that was released, pretty massive document. It studies water, wastewater, air, traffic, socioeconomic impacts, you name it. If you can think about it, it's being studied within this document. As we move forward, we noticed that just after our draft EIS and the comments came in, that the cost of an overcrossing at Galt was going to be extensive. The cost of improving the roadways to the east of that overcrossing was going to be extensive. The cost of bringing in water and wastewater infrastructure was going to be very, very expensive. And we were looking at the Elk Grove site. What's there? The overcrossing at Grant Line Camera Road. What's there? This Stonehenge of a mall that's been sitting there since 2008, and everybody wants to see open. So there was an opportunity for us to partner with them. So we started working with the Howard Hughes Corporation to secure an option. And just last month, we finally secured an option on 36 acres of the 99 acres of the Outlet Mall. So people say this, this is a really quick process. Well, here's a little timeline. We started in February of 2013. Here we are in 2016, and we're almost to the top there. We got a final environmental impact study statement that's being drafted at this point right now. We hope it gets released maybe this fall if we're lucky. And the next step is a record of decision. A record of decision is actually the Department of Interior taking land into trust for the tribe for the purpose of gaming. So we don't know when that'll happen, but we're hopeful we can make some movement on this. So at least we're getting close to the top here. So as many of you are wondering, how is this going to affect your mall? What is it going to look like? How is it? What's the outlay? What are some of the amenities? So this first drawing right here shows the overall footprint. Here's 99 heading south to left to right. There's your Camera Road Grant Line overcrossing. Some of these white structures right here, some of your existing buildings that you all see every time you go down South 99. There's some more structures over here, but those were slated to be dozed as the original footprint is far larger than what the Howard Hughes Corporation was planning on doing at this point. They're going to do an outside kind of racetrack style mall. As my light is dying. So it'll be outdoor stores, not a lot of rooftop. I know that there's a potential movie theater going in right here. Hopefully it's the Cinnabar is what's been talked about. We don't know yet. Maybe they don't have a lease yet, but hopefully that's where they have the cocktails and you know, where you can get the dinner served right to your seat while you watch a movie. But this main walkway is interesting because it connects to this section right here, which is 36 acres, and this centerpiece right here. So this next slide is a blow-up of our section here. And right here is where that main walkway connects to Wilton Rancheria's resort. Now, we're going to come up with a different name beside Wilton Resort because obviously we're in Elk Grove. But it's just a placeholder at this point. So as you see right here in the center, these blue buildings will be high-end fine dining restaurant. So as you're walking down the main street of the outlet collection at Elk Grove, and you have your shops on each side, you're coming to an end, and we'd be like the anchor section to where you could go and have some fine dining restaurant choices. If you'd like to come into our facility, this big green box right here is 110,000 square feet. It has 2,000 slots and 84 gaming tables. We're going to have to do a 4-story parking garage to the east along Highway 99. We're going to have some high limits. We're going to have our own food court inside, you know, your fast food type foods. We're going to have a 360-seat buffet, which my mom wants to sit in before she passes away. That's something that she promised, and got to make that happen. I think you're in the back there. We got seats up here for you, Mom, if you're standing in the back there. So you come this way, and this is a 25,000 square foot open grass area. It's going to be open sky. There'll be, you know, trees and flowers. Maybe you're doing a Sunday brunch there. Maybe there's a wedding. Maybe it's just a place to go sit back and relax a little bit. On the far end over here is our porte cochere where you enter in the hotel lobby area. This section right here is our 12-story hotel and our pool, outdoor pool area. This right here, 50,000 square feet. The orange area is all the back of house, all the stuff that you need to, you know, be able to operate a facility of this size. But this purple area, it can be broken down into a 30,000 square foot facility. So here's a breakdown of what we can do. We can seat 3,200 for a concert. We can break it up into 150 10x10 booths for any kind of conference or trade show. We can do a banquet. I know the Fall Center is great. It only seats about 200 for a banquet. We can put 1,200 in ours. We can break it up into 3 sections and put 600 in one, 250 in the second, and 250 in the third for banquet style. We can do classroom style seatings for a lot of conferences that, you know, being part of a Native American tribe, there's a lot of conferences that we attend. We can also do indoor MMA or a boxing match where we can seat up to 2,500 guests for an indoor sporting event. Now, the 12-story hotel, this is what we're proposing for Elk Grove. No one's seen this as of yet until today. We've had something different for Gulf. It was a different community, a different site, so this is something we plan here. We're very proud of the design and the two-tone looking glass. It's 12-story in the center, and it's 11 stories on the outside. Luxury hotel rooms and suites. There will be a full spa inside of it and a fitness area as well. People are saying, okay, that's a really tall building. It will be the tallest building in South Sacramento. You're absolutely right on that. But to put it in perspective, it's not a downtown high-rise. If you go up Highway 50 and South Sunrise, you'll notice there's a hotel room right off the south side of the highway there. It's a Marriott, I believe, or Sheraton. Anyways, that's a 12-story building. To give you a little perspective of the height of that, which, you know, if you go across the highway to Gold River, you don't even see it. So it's minimal on the skyline. So we're very proud of the design that's being proposed. Here's some other views. This is interior. This is as you walk into, you pull into the hotel to check into the area here. The glass is going to face the grass area to the east with a large fireplace, and it opens up to the big grass area, so it's a peaceful entryway. Now, the Howard Hughes Corporation, these are some of their designs of what they're planning on for the outlet collection at Elk Grove. Maybe some of you probably have already seen a few of these. Different angles of what they have planned, some of their architecture. It's going to be a very elegant retail outlet area for sure. And when you're walking to the end of that center section of the outlet mall, you'll come to our fine dining food court area where you can either enter into the facility, come have a bite to eat, or turn around and keep on shopping if you like. So we feel like it's a good complement to the retail outlets that are being proposed for the outlet collection here in Elk Grove. Here's some other views to give you an idea of what it looked like on South 99. This is actually dropped in on Google Earth, so you can see the roadways and actual power lines that are in place. The hotel off to the right. We're going to have a 4-story parking garage and a digital sign to the left, and our back of house will be in the middle. Now what the back of house is basically where all your loading docks and things of that nature. But we tried to dress it up a little bit, so when you're driving down the road, it wasn't an eyesore, and we felt like we did a good job of making it look decent. And then, of course, the parking structure with the Tucson sign that I just skipped over. There you go. The overall site usage of this is 97% of this will be 302 rooms, hotels, suites, spa, fitness, restaurants, fine dining, ballroom, conference, entertainment, pool, parking, landscape, retail outlet stores, movie theater, and much more. Only 2.7% of the footprint of the 99 acres is going to be casino gaming floor. That's where the 2,000 slots will be. So 2.7 out of the 99 acres.
How many square feet is that?
110,000 square feet. What are the local economic benefits? There'll be 1,500, 2,000 construction jobs over the 2-year life of the build. There'll be many part-time jobs along with that, indirect jobs in the construction. When the facility opens, we'll have 1,750 to 2,000 full-time jobs for the facility, for the casino and hotel as well. There'll be up to 3,000 indirect jobs that are spawned from this development. It's an annual multiplier effect of about 7, means $1 that's made in this community gets spent at other restaurants and places up to 7 times. It's going to bring a lot of jobs to South Sacramento. It's going to be jobs to our tribal members. It's going to be jobs to Elk Grove citizens, South Sacramento residents, and to other outlying businesses as well. There's other community benefits that come with this project. We're going to have, well, I better back up a second because I just screwed my... Yes, it will. All right. Can I say that out loud? This is going backwards on forwards. Economic benefits. I'll just read the economic benefits. There's going to be transportation, retail. We're going to need advertising. We're going to need laundry services. We're going to need food and beverage, which isn't up on the screen here because I'm going to hold off on that thing a second. I didn't even touch it. Somebody help me out here? Sacramento is a capital for farm to fork. If we could utilize the goods and services we have right here in the Sacramento Valley and serve it in our restaurants and bars. We've got a lot of great wineries. We can feature local wines. A lot of great breweries that has some great ales that we can serve in our restaurants and bars as well. We want to see the money stay in this area. We want to see the construction jobs in this area. We want to see the people working in this area. This is an economic generator. Elk Grove had said they wanted to get 25,000 jobs for the southeast policy area. We can bring about 2,000 and a bunch of construction jobs. There's almost 10% in one shot right there. I think that's huge for the community, and it's huge for the tribe. There's going to be more community benefits, which are annual service payments. Let's see if I can make this work here. Somebody working that for me? Hey, okay. I'm going to point at you. Man in the back. Annual service payments. What are service payments? Well, remember we told you we got sued by the county and the city. We have an MOU that states that whenever we put land in a trust, we'll sit down and we're going to negotiate off-site impacts for our gaming facility. So, law enforcement. We're going to provide annual annuities to law enforcement, to the Elk Grove Police Department. People are worried about the crime element, what this may bring. This is going to be a very high-profile place. We're going to have high-tech surveillance. We're going to have tribal trained law enforcement officials who have law enforcement experience, maybe military background. They're going to work cohesively with the City of Elk Grove Police Department to make sure that our patrons are safe. This is a community project and a place our community will go. We want to make sure that everybody feels safe and secure. The surveillance and the security will be higher than any other place you'll find around here, where you're going to feel safe and come to our facility. The fire protection, we're working with CSD. We're having a study currently done that's studying the cost of the impacts to have this facility and how we're going to pay the fire protection services. We're going to pay for traffic improvements, yearly roadway maintenance, because obviously there's going to be a lot of cars coming and going in the area, and that's what your taxpayers' dollars go. So I look at service payments as another name for taxes, but we don't want to say that because people say the tribe doesn't pay taxes. We don't. We pay service agreements. It's a little different. So on June 8th last month, we actually sat down and we have an agreement with Sacramento County for both Elk Grove and Galt sites on impacts to the county. We're still working with the City of Elk Grove and talking about those off-site impacts and negotiations, or we're taking our time with it. There's other community benefits as well that are coming up. The philanthropic support that we can do. We can support charities, youth sports program, school programs, the Indian education program that the Elk Grove Unified School District implores, helping out with the sports team or books for the schools and the libraries. We can help hold the sponsored local events. We can hold the banquets. We can hold high school reunions. We can put more than standing room only for people into a room to have some type of event or some type of tribal forum like we're doing right now. Hold the Chamber of Commerce meetings or various other kind of activities. Now there's going to be tribal benefits as well. There's going to be jobs to reduce the employment issues that our tribe faces and some of the poverty issues, and we're looking forward to that. We can provide health care to our family members, to our tribal members, and to our Native community. We'll be able to give out scholarships and educational grants and vocational training to our adults and our children alike, something that we have very little funding to do at this point. Hello. We can invest in a housing project. We'd like to do that. A lot of our members rent, are not homeowners. I'd like to see all of our members become homeowners at some point. We want self-sufficiency. That's what this is all about. It's about being able to provide for ourselves and not rely on federal grants and taxpayer money, if you will, to provide services and not have to be a burden on other services in our county and in our city. I'd like to be able to help the Elk Grove Food Bank that provides food to some of our members. Why can't we help them be successful as opposed to utilizing the system? Or some of our loaves and fishes and various endeavors like that. If we can be the philanthropist in this area, it'd be great. This project is about a $400 million plus project. It's not funded by any tax dollars. I think your arena project's around $400 million, and it's about $200 million of tax dollars being invested. Not here. $400 million of private money, not a dime out of anybody's pocket here. So we're pretty proud of that. It's a big endeavor. It's a big debt. There's a lot of money that needs to be paid out on these agreements. But this is our opportunity. We can give back to our community. We can help our tribal members be successful. We can maybe do the health clinic we've always dreamed about doing, the housing project, the elders facility, the youth facility, supporting all the other community benefits that are in this community that everybody always needs a little extra help to be successful at. We partnered up with Boyd Gaming. They're going to help us run casino and hotel. They're a great organization. We felt that they aligned with our morals and how we want to see ourselves do business. Because Lord knows we do not know how to run a casino hotel yet, but we're going to learn from the best. Boyd Gaming is celebrating over 40 years in business. Sam Boyd was the original owner, and his son Bill Boyd worked together to establish, starting off with the Sam's Town in Las Vegas, to establish a lot of various different properties throughout the United States. They're a culture of family-owned business. They have that sense of family. I went to a couple other sites, and I actually talked to some of the employees. They'd been there for 20 years, 15 years. They said they loved the people they worked with. They loved the opportunity they were given. They were paid good wages. They were given opportunities to grow, and they will most likely retire with that company. That tells you something about their integrity and who they are. And we want to align ourselves with someone who has an integrity and runs a good business. Because as a small business owner like myself, I would love to have those same principles and to employ them into our facility as the tribe would like to do. They have 22 properties in 8 states and in 15 communities. They have, if you've been to Las Vegas, the Orleans, the Fremont, the Californian, maybe you've been to Jersey to the Borgata. They have facilities in Mississippi, Louisiana, Kansas, Illinois, Iowa, and I can't read. I need my glasses. Boyd Gaming's is guiding principles. Their principles are similar to what we like to aspire to achieve to. Complement the surroundings. As you saw our 12-story building, we wanted that to look pleasant. We think it's going to be an iconic building in this area. We wanted the facility to integrate with the outlet collection that the Howard Hughes Corporation has provided and is working on to bring to this community, which is going to be amazing as well. They want to minimize development impact, and they want to commit to the environment. They just did the Orleans Arena, which was one of the only LEEDs, if not the only LEEDs certified building in a gaming facility in the United States. They generously give back to their community, to the United Way, to the Boys and Girls Club, to various other organizations throughout wherever their properties are located in the United States. They're a community leader, and I'm going to read a few quotes here, which I found were interesting. Boyd Gaming's Treasure Chest Casino is a beloved part of the City of Kenner family, and we will welcome the growth and economic development it has created. That's Michael Yenny, president of Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Worth County is definitely better off financially, economically, and more stable than before we had a casino. Diamond Joe has been a wonderful asset to the community. That's Ken Abrams, the Worth County supervisor in Worth County, Iowa. Mulvane is growing, and Boyd Gaming's Kansas Star Casino has undoubtedly played a large role in our city's ability to lower taxes, improve our schools, and enjoy a greater quality of life. That's Mayor Dr. Shelley Stedman of Mulvane, Kansas. Those quotes show what Boyd Gaming has done in their communities. Here in California, there are 110 Native American tribes. We were the 109th got recognized. There are about 58 gaming facilities within those 109 tribes. Every single one of those communities you go to, they say what a blessing it was to have their tribal gaming facility in their community and what it's done not only for the people of those tribes, but for those communities. We want to see this happen here. We'll be the 3rd largest employer in Elk Grove, behind the Elk Grove School District, behind Apple, which the money goes to Cupertino. But as it was pointed out earlier, we're in Old Town Elk Grove, so the money stays right here. That means we can invest right here. We can invest in our community. We can bring 2,000 full-time jobs to not only our tribal members, but to the community members. We'll invest in our community through police services, fire services, and a number of other annuities. We can help support a lot of the charities. I hope I've educated you a little bit here tonight, and you can fill out some questions on cards, and we'll try to answer those as well. But I just really look forward to your support and welcoming us, because this is a community project. This is communities coming together, the tribal community and the non-tribal community. But we're all residents of Elk Grove and South Sacramento, and let's make this something very wonderful and special and help the growth of this area. Hope.
Okay, if anybody has any questions, you can raise your hand and a card will be given to you, and then you can raise your hand again when you're done and we'll pick it up. And if we don't read your exact question, we're just kind of going through them and hitting on the main subjects. So I have received a few cards. So Chucky, the first question is, when the Wilton Rancheria was disbanded in the 1950s, how many members were there and how much money were they paid?
I know there was 11 families, distributees, that were on the 1959 distributee list. They had dependents. I don't know the numbers of how many dependents there were at that point. I don't know if any of the elders in our tribe may know that answer, but I do know there was 11 distributee families and their dependents. Basically, our membership is based off of that distributee list. If you're a lineal descendant of any of the members that were living off that distributee list at this time, you could be a member of Wilton Rancheria. But the numbers, I don't know the amount. That's before my time. 70 people. And the other question was, you guys were paid money? $700? $700. Going once, going twice. You're no longer Indian. Thank you.
And we were paid no money. There was no money given to us for termination.
Where did the 700 come from? Somebody else?
That 700 was given to us back in the 70s. And that was totally separate from any tribe that was terminated. So there was no money.
That's right. We'll ask you later. Well, that's where the federal government screwed up and didn't follow the California Rancheria Act because nobody got $250,000. Next question.
The next question is, what is your water conservation plan since we are in a drought?
Well, we would like to work with the water agency. The Sacramento Water Agency is going to be supplying the water to the Elk Grove, the mall area there. Hopefully by this period of time, they might have recycled water aspects. We don't know if that's going to be in place to use it for any of the landscaping and planters. Inside our facilities, we want to use low water usage, toilets, low flushing. Maybe Elk Grove has implemented some of the urinals that don't use water. Sorry to say that in the public, but it's a great way to conserve water for sure.
Okay, what will you require your construction prime developer to subcontract to minority, women, small businesses? Will you require your construction prime developer to subcontract to minority, women, small businesses? It says, if yes, what percentage?
That we haven't discussed that yet. Do we want to give opportunities to minority businesses? Absolutely. We want to see the construction jobs here in Northern California, here in Sacramento area. We want to see the companies thrive here. It's a 2-year build. It's a lot of construction jobs that are going to be needed. That means more revenue in our cities and more people spending monies outside the area. As far as the percentage for minorities, we know that it's important to the tribe, but there's not a percentage at this point.
Is there going to be a non-smoking section?
There will be a non-smoking section in this floor. It is a 1-floor casino floor, so there will be an area cordoned off for non-smoking.
Will smoking be allowed?
Smoking will be allowed, yes, and we'll be using high-end HVAC systems that turn the air over quite frequently. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah. If you have a question, you can write it on a card. I don't know what you're asking.
Okay. In regard. Oh, minimum.
Well, by the time we open the doors, which is probably around 2021, it'll be at $15 an hour anyway. So hopefully we're higher than that. All right. Thank you very much. I hear what you're saying.
Put it on a card, please. In regards to Boyd Gaming, what due diligence has the tribe performed on this partner? In regards to Boyd Gaming, what due diligence has the tribe performed?
On its partner, Boyd Gaming, as I talked about in the video, Boyd Gaming they're family owned. We're going to be family owned. They treat their employees well. They pay their employees well. Their employees work there and they want to retire there. They get a higher amount of pay than they would in other facilities doing the same type of work, because Boyd knows what it means to cultivate good employees. That's exactly what the tribe wants to do. We've aligned ourselves with somebody that's going to be a great partner and a great mentor to the tribe.
And the next question to that was, what security is Boyd requiring from the tribe, if any?
Security, I'd imagine security means what kind of security as far as backing? We better make our money or we're going to get hurt? No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a partnership, so we're going to work together, and we know this is going to be successful. You look at Elk Grove here, you look at this outlet mall, you look at the connection between this gaming facility, you look at the hotel room at the 302 rooms, the meeting space. You're going to be able to have conferences here. You're going to have people come here and stay here. This is going to be a destination instead of a bedroom community. So we're not worried about security.
We have lots of questions. Okay, here's the next section. Will you be using solar panels?
We'd like to look at that. As a matter of fact, I'm meeting with a couple companies next week to look at the possibility on the top of our parking structure within the parking lot. We need to see what kind of investment cost that would be, what kind of power it can generate, and if it's going to be something that's viable and feasible. We want to be environmentally friendly, and we want to protect the environment. So it is something we are looking into, yes.
How did crime go up in the surrounding areas after this casino went in, along with the increase of DUIs?
Well, this casino hasn't opened, so from what the police chief, Bob Leonard, had stated to me, he's called around to other counties and found that most of the incidents that happened occurred on the facilities or around the property, not in the outside areas. Found that it was going to be a minimal impact, and working together that we would be able to make sure that our patrons are safe, because this is a community project.
Do you have to do another EIS since it's in Elk Grove?
We do not have to do another EIS because Elk Grove is being studied in this environmental document since 2013 as Alternative F. There's been 2 different opportunities for citizens of Elk Grove to comment on the document, one in 2013, and again a 60-day period in 2015, end of 2015, beginning of this year.
Do you have a MOU already with the city of Elk Grove and Sacramento?
I have an MOU, or the tribe has an MOU with Sacramento County. We're in discussions with the city of Elk Grove of what their needs are, what their offsite impacts will be. We do not have an MOU with the city yet.
When do you break ground?
That's a tricky question. This is a federal process. We have to get land in a trust first before we can even be able to put a shovel on the ground. Once we get land in the trust, most likely we might have some lawsuit against us that we'll have to settle. So 3 to 5 years is a good estimation to put a shovel in the ground.
And I think this is, where is the 400 mil coming from?
Yeah.
I don't.
The $400 million is an investment that's going to be backed by Boyd Gaming. They're going to be our investment partners and work together.
And where is Boyd Gaming located?
Their corporate offices are in Las Vegas, Nevada, and they have properties in 8 different states, 22, although I think they added a couple more just recently. So.
Will this project be on a ballot for the citizens of Elk Grove to vote on?
It will not be on a ballot. It's not something that the citizens vote on. As I explained to you earlier, when we were sued by the County of Sacramento and the City of Elk Grove, the stipulations were, 1, please don't build in Wilton. 2, have a seat at the table so we can mitigate off-site impacts for police services and fire and traffic. And number 3, they would not oppose a casino gaming project. So the answer is no.
And is Mayor Davis in support of this project?
Mayor Davis is in support of the tribe. He's in support of his community, and I can't speak for him, and maybe, I don't know if you'd like to answer that question or not.
Well, no, at this point, I'm not taking a position. I'm here to listen like you all. I know Councilman Soon's up front. Councilman Lee is back here. Did Mr. Detrick show up? No. We are planning to have this on our agenda at next Wednesday's council meeting. So there'll be an opportunity for you to weigh in again. Again, our job is to listen and hear what your concerns are and thoughts are as we formulate our position on it.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
What will the age limit be for the gaming area?
The gaming area will be 21 and over.
Will there be a new off-ramp created off Highway 5 to your casino?
Well, there's a new off-ramp being proposed right now at Cameron Road heading towards I-5. It's going through some environmental studies. I don't know if anybody else can speak to that. That's not something that we're involved in, but we know that that is in the future plans with Caltrans, the city of Elk Grove, and the county of Sacramento.
Why does Wilton Rancheria have 63% unemployment?
You know, it's about generations of issues. It's tough. It's not. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about how it was growing up or other our members here about what they had to go through, or and it's not about that. It's about what we can do and be proud Native Americans and do something positive for our community, something positive for our tribal members. That's what's important.
How environmentally friendly will the resort be as far as the usage of green energy?
We're going to use the most highest efficient HVAC systems, electricity, light bulbs, hopefully utilize solar. There's, utilizing green, sustainable type of building products. We haven't decided on LEEDs or not. LEEDs is just a name, basically. But if you're using recycled products and sustainable products, you're being environmentally friendly. And those are things we'll be looking at in the future as we start to actually plan for the facility and the actual construction and design.
This one's kind of the same. Is this project already decided, or is this going to be voted on? I think you answered that, didn't you?
Right. Project is decided and no vote.
It was stated that the tribe could support youth and community services and organizations in Elk Grove. How guaranteed that this will happen, and how much money? There should be contracts. So basically,
The tribe is committed to our community. We're committed to supporting youth programs. We're committed to supporting our school district. We're committed to supporting what a lot of the groups in this community already do and the services they provide other members. You can't put a dollar amount on that, but you look at what other tribes have been able to do when they become successful to help get back to their community. It's amazing. When the fires happened up in Jackson Rancheria opened their hotel rooms for all the people who were losing their homes. They opened up the food courts so they could eat for a month. Black Oak did the same thing. They helped their community. You may be able to speak on Black Oak because you work up in the Tuolumne area as dental assistant. What do they do for that community?
Yes. When I first heard about this project and became involved in my tribe, I didn't know how I felt about, quote, a casino and us promoting this casino. But 8 years ago, I started working up in Tuolumne County, up in Sonora for a dental office. And they have a casino up there. It's called Black Oak. And over the last 8 years, I have never heard one negative thing about that casino being in that community. I've heard a lot of wonderful things about that community as far as them helping the school district. They paved the roads. They've built, medical clinics. They've built dental clinics. And those aren't just for their people. They're for the community also. They have a Seven Sisters restaurant up there that the people up in Sonora all go to for their special occasions, their anniversaries, their special, things that they want to attend. They have a bowling alley up there that all the kids at schools are rewarded for attendance or good grades. The school district actually takes them up to the casino so they can go bowling. So I've never, it changed my opinion of what a casino can do to a community. And I was very impressed with it. So knowing that we're supporting this and then how much it can help a community that we're part of, it's pretty spectacular.
Thank you. It shows all the different tribal gaming facilities, what it not only does to their tribal members, but what it does for the community, and that's what's important.
Okay, will the construction jobs be pulled from the Sacramento Valley, or will some come from outside the region, LA, Bay Area, Central Valley, etc., etc.?
I would like to see it all from Sacramento Valley if possible. We're going to put it out to a fair bidding process. We want quality construction companies doing the work on our facilities. It's a high-end facility. It's going to need quality work. It's going to need quality craftsmanship. We hope they all come from this Northern California area, Sacramento Valley, Sacramento area. I can't guarantee they might not be able to pull the employees from here. They may have to pull some employees from other areas, but we're committed to looking into that and trying to keep the money here in Northern California for sure.
Will you build everything you have shown us in one single phase or in a number of phases?
We'd like to do a number of phases, but because how small it is, we're probably going to just go through it in one shot.
There was discussion about extending Bighorn Road from the residential areas to the mall. Has there been any discussion regarding developing access from residential areas directly to the casino?
I can't speak to that. That would be something from the Planning Commission or the City of Elk Grove about any expansions of Bighorn Road.
What about the problem gamblers? Will you have programs for these people?
Absolutely. The Tri-Pays is part of the Sacramento County MOU. The problem gaming is something that comes up. There's a percentage of 1% that has an issue. Gaming is an entertainment. It's not an addiction. We pay to the Sacramento County.
Girls?
We'll be paying into a problem gambling fund, so if there's issues that people can go to for help. Our staff is going to be trained to be aware when somebody is going over the limits or not knowing what's happening, so they're able to intervene and understand when somebody's obviously showing signs of problem gambling addiction. You have several gaming facilities here in Sacramento, so it's nothing new. You've got California Lottery at every single gas station here, and I don't know how many people bought the multi-million-dollar ball yesterday or whatever. But, it's an entertainment, it's an opportunity. It's not necessarily an addiction.
Can this still be stopped?
No. Just kidding. I'm sure people can slow us down. The tribe has a right to put land in a trust. The federal government will allow us that right. We're going through the process to study the best site that's feasible, that's environmentally friendly, that's going to be the best relationship between us and our county, and in this case, us and our county and our city, the city of Elk Grove. So that's what's important here. This is a community project. So I hope those who want to stop the project understand that this is something huge for, again, not only the tribe, but the community. This is a win-win for both of us.
What is the expected annual revenue projected to be?
That's a good question. We've had a couple different studies with some various numbers. It's tough to put a real number on that, and I'm not going to say at this point because there's a lot of agencies who also have expectations and needs as well. So.
Are you going to build with union labor to get a good job and help the tribe?
we're going to employ the most qualified construction company to do the facilities. These questions about unions, I'm sure there's going to be discussions coming up in the near future, but we haven't actually had those at this point. I'd like to see across the board. I want to see Sacramento companies, whether you're union or non-union, have an opportunity to bid and have an opportunity to be awarded a contract to build our project.
Okay, how are you going to address traffic congestion that is already pretty bad in both 99 and I-5?
Well, the study's already shown that traffic consultants have studied that whole area long before we even decided to put our facilities there. And then once we decided to start looking at the Elk Grove site, all the traffic studies that were done shown that the impacts on the overcrossing, Promenade Parkway, traffic work is already done. The impacts you see on 99 are your 8 in the mornings heading down the Sac and 5 o'clock coming back home. Most of the gaming facility, the hours of operation are 24 hours. Our peak hours are not 8 in the morning or 5 in the afternoon. They're off hours from normal traffic. So we don't see it as an issue, nor do the traffic consultants that have done the studies.
How can we trust that the money is going to the tribe and the community?
Well, you can trust some of the money goes to the tribe because we'll have to sign a compact with the state of California, and that will require us to make sure that we supply funds to our programs and to the tribal operations. And what was the second part of the question?
It says in the community. How can we trust that the money is going to the tribe and community?
The community would be through MOUs. The MOU with Sacramento County that we've already in agreement with, and our agreement with the city of Elk Grove once we get to that point.
And then how much does Boyd Gaming receive and how much goes to the tribe?
Boyd Gaming will be on a contract for development for 7 years or up to 7 years. Hopefully we can learn how to run the project before 7 years, and we're paying for a service and we're going to get a good service, so it's worth it to us to invest in them. 25%. Hey,
Okay. We're taking one last call for questions. If you want to write something down on a card, then you can turn it in, and we'll be happy to answer it for you.
Just to be clear, the meeting is not run by the BIA. This is a tribal forum that we've put on. It's different than a community meeting, as you're saying, sir. I just want you to understand that we're here to inform you guys, talk a little bit about the tribe, try to keep this peaceful, try to answer some of the questions that you may have. I don't, having people speak out and that isn't, if you want to do that in your city council meetings or your county meetings, feel free. That isn't what I'd like to feel here. We're trying to be insightful and give you information to be helpful.
But our city council city council president means that it has to be noticed through the Brown. That's what the city don't want to go again.
I'm a fed. All right.
Okay.
Just to be
Just
clear,
settle down.
in 2009, we became a sovereign federal government. What does it mean to be sovereign? The right to make your own laws, the right to make your own decisions. And we decided to do this for our community. We decided to put the parameters on how we're going to run this meeting for our community so we don't have outbursts and we want to try to educate the people and answer your questions the best we can, sir. So that's what we're trying to do.
How many Elk Grove residents will be a part of your facility as per the tribal members?
Well, 62% unemployment, which is a super high number, means that that's less than 10% of the total jobs that are available. That's if every person works for the gaming facility. So there's plenty of jobs to go around. You're talking.
Did you tell them how many members we had, though?
Oh, yeah, we have over 700 tribal members, most of which live in South Sacramento area.
But how many of those are children? How many of those are adults?
We have about 400 adults.
So there's yeah.
So that's
and
about
not
two.
all four of those 400 adults are unemployed at 63%, so there's still going to be a lot of jobs
Right.
available.
If every person worked for the gaming facility, that would be a little over 10% of the total jobs that are available to the complete community.
And how old is the EIS?
February 2013, we started the process. In June, we pulled an application for 160 acres and submitted a new one with the 282 and included the Wilton Rancheria and the Elk Grove site as well. So we are 3 years into this EIS. We still have to get to the final EIS, which may be released this fall, and then a record of decision. So as you saw the steps earlier, we're getting close to the top. We're not quite there yet.
Will there be an outside concert venue? And if so, how will noise be mitigated?
There's a possibility for an outside concert venue. We'll talk to the city of Elk Grove and have more discussions with that down the road. What we're most concerned about is having the facility with the hotel in the indoor meeting space and the fine dining restaurants.
Will the casino be family friendly? Things for the kids to do?
We want this family oriented. I guess people. I get, it's 21 and over for the gaming component, but there will be other things for family friendly within the area. You have the movie theaters and things that the outlet collections will provide as well.
So we haven't decided to put any like little arcade or anything in there.
There's talks about it, but we haven't made a final decision on it.
Will this finally get the mall project moving, and how soon?
The outlet. We feel that we would be a great complementary tenant, an anchor, if you will, to the outlet collection in Elk Grove. The Howard Hughes Corporation has been out actively getting leasees. They need to get to that 50% mark to start pulling permits so they can start construction on the outlet mall. If you saw recently, they put up that new sign, the Elk Grove sign that says love on it. It's a pretty cool looking sign. It shows that I think they're getting close. But I think that spawns from us being a lightning rod. We can be the generator that helps other people feel like, hey, stuff's happening in Elk Grove. That mall that's been sitting there for 8 years, things are going to start happening in that area, and a lot of good things are going to start happening. There's going to be a lot more development, and other people are getting interested. Maybe we should jump on board. So if we come to Elk Grove, will that help the mall? I absolutely believe that. I believe that you may have 100% leasees in no time once that starts spawning, because people know things are happening in Elk Grove, and Elk Grove supports the economic development of the Southeast Policy Area.
How would the planned community development pencil out without the 2.3% casino floor?
I don't really know how to answer that question. I guess there would be no casino. You'd have 98% and a bigger parking lot.
No, the question is, how will it pencil out? In other words, can you make enough from the concert venues, from other uses other than
That would be a no.
Can you still change the location of the casino somewhere outside of the community? This casino is very close to a high school and homes.
Well, I understand what people's feelings are. That area in the south area, it's outside of where most of the homes are located. We're going through this EIS process. There's 3 places, the Wilton Rancheria, the Galt, and the Elk Grove. And the tribe has decided that the preferred site is Elk Grove because it's commercially friendly. Because infrastructure